Welcome back to the channel, Reason Through Time. I'm your host, June Torres. And today, let's talk about a film in particular. And this film, I'm just gonna get straight to it, and that is the original version of Pinocchio, right? And the reason why I want to bring this up about Pinocchio is because, can you see that real good? Yeah, there you go. The reason why I want to bring it up is because obviously the live action Pinocchio came out, and it did bad. It was horrible. It failed. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it now. I'm gonna read you a quote. It says here, this is from CBR.com. Across the board, reception to Pinocchio is not good. Many of the criticisms for the movie are of how the audiences and critics alike felt about most of the Disney live-action remakes. That's to say, the movie largely feels soulless and unnecessary at best, and almost insulting at worst. All right? For some reason, I have no idea why, but Disney, and not just Disney, but just Hollywood in general, keeps making remakes that no one is even asking for. And then they try to, and because they are relying so much on CGI and basically the advancements that we have in computer generated, cartoons, so to speak, that they fail at really bringing alive the characters or just making a good story. And this is the weird part, because they don't even follow the same story that they are trying to recreate. And so, because I've seen certain scenes, I didn't see the live action film Pinocchio, I didn't see it. But I've seen many clips that they put out, from people that I listen to or watch on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, you can't compare it. You can't, look, that shit sucks. Like, you see the scenes, like the scene where the scene where they are, is it Fantasy Island? It's been a long time since I've seen the film. But I believe it's Fantasy Island, right? Where they take all the kids and they take them over to the island. And the scene where his friend, he's smoking a cigar, he's drinking, and then little by little, he's turning into a donkey, okay? Yo, in the original film, that scene is very alarming. It's very scary as a kid. Again, it goes back to when I spoke about Winnie the Pooh. It's the artistry and the way it's just drawn. It's done in such a way where you're like, whoa. And it's not just that, it's the fact that you include the story behind it and the fact that there are consequences to everyone's action, right? And it's just so believable. When you see the clip, and if you guys seen it, maybe you will agree or maybe you will not, but from look at things, everyone, even the critics are saying the live action Pinocchio is bad. In the scene that I saw, they when he turned into a horse, number one, first of all, they take away the fact that these kids are doing anything bad. Even Pinocchio is not really doing anything bad because it ain't beer. They're drinking root beer. You get what I'm saying? So now you're taking that element that these kids are doing something very horrible that they shouldn't be doing. Because then, in reality, they're not doing anything evil or wrong because it's root beer now. It's like, you take away that edge. And that's one thing about Disney films overall, is that they kept it realistic. Like even the film Bambi, for example, where he loses his mother. Like, the thing about these cartoons back in the day is that they put the main character in real situations, and that those situations can have dire consequences. But now this live action version, well, really, was he really doing anything bad? If he was drinking root beer, really? And from all the scenes that I've seen when he goes to Fantasy Island, really Pinocchio doesn't really do anything. he doesn't do anything that you could consider, you know, dishonest or consider, I guess, bad behavior. I guess you could say. And so you take away that element. You take away that element for why, you know, from basically what it does is it takes away the element of good and bad and the consequences of either one, or the benefits of doing good and the consequences of doing bad. Because now Pinocchio and his friend are turning into donkeys because of this larger entity that wants to make them as slaves, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? So it's not really, the onus is not on them no more. It's really that they are powerless to control that. Because it doesn't matter what they do, good or bad, they're going to turn into donkeys. So what message are you teaching? You get me? There's another scene in the live action film where basically Pinocchio is able to escape from the whale. And you remember is there a picture here? Oh, matter of fact, the picture is right. Can you see it? Where the whale is chasing them as they, you know, escape his insides, right? Well, in the film, in that scene, Pinocchio is able to escape and help his father escape because he's made out of wood. He was able to make his legs like a propeller, and it was going so fast that he was able to escape the whale. And the whale itself wasn't even a whale. The whale was like a sea monster. It's like with tentacles and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get these guys. Like, you're ruining your own shit that you know that works. You're ruining your own story that you know works. I don't get it. It's just it's weird to me. I don't get it. But anyways, so what's his name again? Geppetto, right? Yeah, I believe it's Geppetto, right? So Geppetto, you know, they all there. And they're on the beach. They're basically safe or whatever. And Geppetto tells Pinocchio, "See, if you was a real boy, you wouldn't have been able to save us." So now it's like this whole quest for him turning into a real boy. It's kind of like, well, no, you should be happy with what you are, right? Because there are benefits of being a wooden boy and not a real life boy, because in this situation, we would have died if it wasn't for the fact you've been a wooden boy. So you would think, oh shit, so the difference would be that he, in this live action, he's going to stay as a wooden little boy. No, as the scene ends, you see him like kind of like transform into a boy. So I'm like, hold on, I thought the message was going, I thought that you guys changed the message. I thought the message was going to be that be happy with who you are. Be content with that. You feel me? No, he still changed it to a boy. It's like, what the fuck? But my thing is this, and it's fun because I kind of contradicted myself, because I know I made the last video about Winnie the Pooh, and I talked about how there's a new movie coming out, which is called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is going to be like a horror film depiction of Winnie the Pooh. And I just want to see it because it's just a totally different depiction. It's like, it's just to see that version of Winnie the Pooh being a slasher, you know, killer, is I just want to see it, because it's not like the people who taking the IP and made it into, are trying to recreate it the same, trying to create the same thing or live action. They're not doing it. They just taking that and just like, yo, look at Winnie the Pooh being a killer. So but at the same time, I have to admit, I am contradicting myself when I say that I hate remakes, because I am going to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So I guess we all contradict ourselves in some way, shape, or form somehow. But definitely, if you guys want to watch a film, I think stick with the old Disney films. I think that's the best way to just. I think that's the best advice I can give. Stick with the old films. If you like these old school stuff, don't even bother with the new things. Don't even bother watching it. There is no point, because it's like these new writers or these new anime guys. They're just piggybacking on what has already been established, and they're not really good enough to make their own stuff. Okay, like, I think that's the best way to say it. Like, I'm not a rapper, and so, but guess what? I think it would be very easy for me to make a song with taking Eminem's lyrics or Jay-Z's lyrics, right? Like, I think that would be good, and if I could take those and make it to a song and follow the flow, I think I could make a good song, right? But is it really me? No, I'm just taking already what's established and trying to put my own, my own little touch to it. But in reality, I have no skill at rapping, and I feel the same way. And I don't want to say that the majority are like that, but I just feel as though these guys really, on their own, they would not be able to make it. That on their own, with their own material, they will not succeed. And so they just piggyback on what's already been established and try to see if they can make a hit somehow. That's my take on it. I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. There's nothing else. There's nothing more for me to say. I think that if you guys cherish the classics, just go back and buy them again and get yourself a real physical copy of the original stuff. And that goes for film, that goes for music, TV shows, because the way things are going, and it has been going for a couple years now, that these new films, these new stories that are coming out are pretty much non-existent, because all they're doing is copying from what already existed from prior. And so I think that kind of like Greek mythology or Norse mythology, where those stories never change. You can always revisit Greek mythology and reread the story of Hercules and the 12 labors, right? Medusa will always be Medusa, right? Jason and the Argonauts, right? He's always going to be Jason. These stories will never change, and you can always revisit the classics and enjoy them. Because the way things are going now, they are in reality, I can't say they are destroying it, but they are tarnishing the classics. They are tarnishing it. They are putting like a little mark on it that says, a little what do you call it? A little X mark on it, and tarnishing what the classic really brought to us. So, if you feel as though you want to revisit the classics, then just go back and pick up a physical copy of these things. And that goes for all different types of mediums. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be film, TV shows, music, again, anything. Go back and relive those. Don't relive them by trying to expect something new to come out of it, or having Hollywood to create something new. No. Don't do that. Just go back and watch. I remember, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a while ago, I went back and revisited, Back to the Future. And for 3 weekends straight, I watched one of the Back to the Future movies. I watched part 1, and then part 2, and then part 3. And every weekend, that's what I did for 3 weekends. I just sat back, and it was around like 12 or 1 o'clock is when I did it. I was like, I ain't gonna do shit. I'm just gonna take these 2 hours and just chill. I made myself some food, relax, and watch the film. And it was dope. I don't want a new remake of Back to the Future or any film, really, to tell you the truth. Because I think the one thing that Hollywood is missing, is the charm. They are understanding how to get that charm of these films and what made it so great and what made them become classics. Well, sometimes, and let's go back to the Future. Every one of those actors, they fit perfectly to the roles that they played and how they played amongst each other, every character. You know, Michael J. Fox character, Biff character, the Doc character, like all these actors, they were perfect for those roles. And then how they had they basically had so much good chemistry when they were in the scene together. It's hard to duplicate those things. So it's not just the story, but it's also that again, the charm of the film, the director, the actors, all these come to play together, and you can't think that the magic would just pop up and happen just because, like, oh, let's just redo the movie. Let's just redo the story and redo the TV show, and it's just gonna work out. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Sometimes you look back at these shows and sometimes you find out that a certain actor wasn't gonna be picked for the role. I believe, matter of fact, in Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox was not the guy that they picked, if I remember correctly. He was not the guy that they picked at first. It was someone else. So just think about that. Sometimes it's just luck. So imagine how different it would have been without Michael J. Fox in that film, in that role. So it's like Hollywood now is just missing that understanding of how magic works, and sometimes it could just be luck to have different actors come together and just play a phenomenal role, and just how they just bring the story alive. Like, that's not something easy to do, but you know. So, and me personally, I just think that the other part is they are afraid to fail, which is weird because they are failing with these remakes. So you might as well fail with something new, because you may hit the jackpot with something new. Like, just try something new. That's all I'm saying about Hollywood. But I think I made my piece. I think I made my point. Again, go out, check out Pinocchio. If you're interested in seeing the live action, forget the live action. Go watch the original classic Pinocchio. And in fact, this came out in, does it say? I hate these little things when you look for it. It's like all in the bottom. It says here, no, that's not it. Man, let me go on my computer right quick. When did the original movie Pinocchio come out?
According to
Damn. February 23, 1940. Again, you don't need all this CGI and all this, you know, improvements that we've attained through our technology. I think sometimes we get so focused on that we forget about what really brings up a story. Think about, again, going back to Greek mythology or Norse mythology. It was just a story. It wasn't like they had puppets showing you Medusa and Hercules. No, it was just someone telling a story. And the story being that good. It was just word of mouth. Word of mouth. Think about that. You didn't need all this CGI, all this other fucking shit that you're doing. I think they have to go. I think Hollywood needs to go back to the basics, and they want and basic meaning also that includes creating new material. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Or I can't say you could enjoy the take because you could disagree, you know, with my take. But hey, whatever you, if you do disagree, write down in the comment section. I would like to see or read your opinion on the take I've taken with how I feel about all these remakes of films and stories and just TV shows, whatever like that. Yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.